Have you ever worked with a data platform that was so messy, so tangled up, that you were genuinely worried it might take the whole company down with it? Well, today, we're going to go behind the scenes on a real-world rescue mission that happened on Google Cloud. We'll follow one organization's entire journey, from total data chaos to a powerful, streamlined platform. Let's jump right in.
All right, first things first, a quick question for you. Think about your live production database. The one that's serving your customers this very second. Is that also the place where your data analysts are running their giant, complex queries? If you're nodding right now, or maybe cringing a little, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You are in the danger zone. And you know what? It's an incredibly common problem, and it was the spark that lit the fuse for this entire modernization story we're about to walk through.
So, here's the game plan for today. We're going to start with that ad hoc dilemma. Then we'll cover the first baby steps into the cloud. From there, we'll get into building some really smart data pipelines. After that, we'll talk about mastering the platform, pull out the key architectural lessons, and we'll wrap it all up with a roadmap that you can actually take and use yourself. Okay, let's dive headfirst into that danger zone. This is what we're calling the ad hoc dilemma. This was the starting point for the team, a place where every single analytics query was basically a roll of the dice, a gamble against the performance of their live production systems. Not a great place to be.
This really just says it all, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the painful reality, slow, fragile queries that put the entire production environment at risk every single day. And on the other side, you've got the dream, fast, secure analytics all powered by one centralized data hub. That massive gap between the problem and the goal, that's the why behind this entire project.
And let's get really specific about that pain, because it was real. We're talking about crucial business queries that would just time out after running for 30 minutes. We're talking about developers being terrified to make a simple change to a database schema because who knows what undocumented report it might break. And the worst part? With data scattered all over the place, you could ask 5 different people the same simple question, like, what was our revenue last month, and get 5 totally different answers. It wasn't sustainable.
So how do you fix a situation like that? You don't do it overnight with some massive complicated plan. No way. You start with one manageable first step. For them, this was the crawl phase, all about just getting out of immediate danger with a really practical cloud-based solution.
And the initial plan? It was beautifully simple. Step 1, just get the data out. They literally started with nightly exports of their most important tables from production. Step 2, put it all in one safe place, in this case, a cheap, super durable bucket in Google Cloud Storage. And step 3, point a really powerful query engine at all that data. And that engine was BigQuery. Now, if you're not familiar, BigQuery is Google's cloud data warehouse. The magic word here is serverless, which meant the team didn't have to worry about managing servers or any of that infrastructure headache. But the real genius move, the critical architectural decision, was that BigQuery decouples storage from compute. What does that mean? It means you can store absolutely massive amounts of data for cheap and then apply insane processing power only for the moments when you're actually running a query. It's like having a giant library for all your data, that's your storage, and then a team of super fast genius researchers you can call on demand to find anything in seconds. That's your compute. This separation is the foundation for everything that comes next. Okay, so the crawl phase put out the immediate 5-alarm fire. But, manually exporting data every night isn't exactly a long-term strategy. The next stage was all about maturing this process, about getting up and learning to walk. And this is where things get really cool. So the goal here was to move away from these one-off manual tasks and start building an automated, reliable data factory. This is the big shift from just having the data available sometimes to trusting that the data is always fresh, always correct, and delivered on time every single time. The right tool for this job turned out to be Google Cloud Dataflow. Honestly, the best way to think about Dataflow is as the smart plumbing for your data. It's a managed service that lets you build these pipelines to extract, transform, and load data from basically any source into your data warehouse. And the best part? The absolute game changer? It handles old-school nightly batch jobs and modern real-time streaming data using the exact same code. That is a huge deal.
And you can see their evolution right on this timeline. In the first quarter, they just focused on automating those nightly batch jobs they were doing by hand. Simple enough, by the second quarter, they were already pulling in data from other systems, like sales and marketing tools, making their dataset way richer. And then, by Q3, they made the huge leap to real-time streaming, analyzing user behavior on their website as it was actually happening. I mean, that's an incredible pace of innovation in just a few months.
So, the pipelines are humming along, the data's all in one place, the job's done, right? We can all go home? Well, not quite. The final phase, the run phase, is all about mastering this new platform and operating it like a world-class professional service.
A truly mature platform isn't just about having the data. It's built on these pillars. We're talking about solid data governance, so you know what data you have and who can use it. We're talking about proactively managing costs so there are no scary surprises on the bill. It's about tight security, squeezing every last drop of performance out of your queries, and having monitoring so good that you catch problems before your users even know they exist.
And the results? I mean, they just speak for themselves. Average query times went from over 30 minutes, sometimes not finishing at all, to under 30 seconds. The risk of impacting production, it went from high to near zero, and the costs, which used to be this wild, unpredictable mess, became optimized and totally forecastable. This is the real business value of getting your architecture right.
Okay, so after watching this incredible transformation, what are the big architectural lessons that we can pull out of this story and apply to our own work?
This quote from the lead architect really says it all. Choosing a platform like BigQuery that separates storage from compute was the absolute cornerstone of this whole thing. It gave them the flexibility to scale their analytics power up or down on demand without being locked into some giant expensive system. It gave them the agility they needed to grow. It truly enabled everything else.
So let's boil it all down to a few key takeaways. First, get your analytics workload out of your production database, like yesterday. Second, centralize your raw data in a cheap data lake like cloud storage. Third, automate your data ingestion with managed pipelines, and this one is huge. Please, please treat governance and cost management as critical features from day one, not something you'll get around to later. And most importantly, evolve. Take it one step at a time. Don't try to boil the ocean.
Okay, let's take everything we've learned from this case study and turn it into a concrete plan for you. Here is a generic roadmap that you can take, adapt, and use to kickstart your own data modernization journey.
And look, it's that same crawl, walk, run approach we've been talking about. Phase 1 is just about building the foundation. Get your data into cloud storage and start playing around with BigQuery. Get comfortable. In Phase 2, you automate everything with Dataflow. And finally, in Phase 3, you optimize. You add the governance, the cost controls, all the things you need to run it like a pro.
Which brings us right to our final thought. As you look at this roadmap and you think about your own company, your own danger zone, what is that single most important first step that you can take on your data modernization journey? Thanks so much for watching.